When we're talking about zeal, zeal is like fire. Fire consumes. Zeal consumes. Zeal is like fire. Fire consumes chaff, and zeal consumes self. There'll be no self-consideration. And there'll be no self-centeredness. There'll be nothing like, if I go this way, if I preach the word, if I stand for the truth, what will my friends say? What will my relatives say? What will my fellow believers say? Fire consumes chaff, and zeal consumes self. Fire consumes earthly material. Zeal consumes earthly consideration. Earthly consideration will not come into your mind. What's the will of God? What's the glory of God? What's the directives of God? What's God telling us to do? Fire separates the dross from the gold, and zeal separates parasites from the precious. You see, the church is precious, and a child of God, every minister of God is precious. If there are parasites that are just leaning on you, and they're sucking out the strength of the church, and they're sucking out the vitality of the church like parasites, and they're destroying the precious things in the church, fire will separate the parasites from the precious. Fire removes cold, and zeal removes coldness. If somewhere it's cold and you light the fire and you kindle the fire, that fire will remove the cold. The same thing with zeal. Zeal removes coldness, lukewarmness, and apathy. Fire is real, and it's distinct from all imitations. If it is something that is burning and it's just a kind of cosmetic, not real fire, you put your hand there, it will not burn. But if it's fire, fire is real and can be distinguished from all imitations. Zeal is real, and zeal is free from pretense or hypocrisy. Fire is known by its effect. Fire is burning. How do you know it's fire? You see the effect. It will burn whatever it is that is inflammable. And zeal is recognized in its efforts. Fire drives the engine. In the olden days, when they used to use charcoal to build fire so that the engine of the train will move, it was fire that will move that engine. Zeal drives man into ministry irresistibly. If you really have zeal, you'll not say, well, I'm still thinking of ministry. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. That zeal will move you and drive you forward. And from this day, the zeal of the Lord will drive you forward in the ministry in Jesus' name. Jeremiah chapter 20. I'm reading from verse 9. Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 9. Then said I will not make mention of him. That's Jeremiah getting discouraged. That's Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. That's Jeremiah, his knees were becoming weak. That's Jeremiah, his feet were becoming tired. That's Jeremiah, his voice was now to be silenced. That's Jeremiah, it appears now he was giving up. You will not give up. Somebody there said, you will not give up. Then said I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire. Take the word in. And when the word comes in, the fire will begin to burn again. It says, his word was in my heart as a burning fire, shut up in my bones. And I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. He began the work again. You begin afresh. You begin with zeal. You begin with power. And you begin with passion. And you'll do the work of God fruitfully, purposefully, in Jesus' name.